Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that is enough. Can we add some more loud of applause? The Richmonds, the Richmonds. Yes, thank you very much. I think my key takeaway is I'm designed to multiply. I think that is very powerful. It's very insightful. It's very building. And number two, commitment comes before alignment. And on that note, I want us to keep the momentum going and build on the conversation around capital and execution. We now turn to strategy and structures that shape how value is created within an ecosystem. Our next speaker is someone whose work sits at the heart of that design. Dr. Mwongela is the head of asset management strategy and financial product engineering at Nabo Capital. In this role, she leads as the development of investment strategies and financial products, advising institutional investors on portfolio design, capital allocation, and long-term value creation across private equity, private credit, real estate, and global markets. With over 19 years of experience across Kenya and Dubai, she has raised and managed over 1 billion assets, working at the intersection of strategy, capital, and execution. She is also sought after speaker and teacher, known for translating complex financial concepts into practical, actionable insights. Her credentials span law, finance, executive leadership, with training from Harvard, INSEAD, and Oxford. And she holds a honorary doctorate for her contribution to capital markets, women, and philanthropy. And fittingly, even her name carries similar depth. Mercy, from Latin mercies, which means price paid, wages, value, and more commonly understood as compassion, leniency, and restraint. Mwongela, meaning the added one. In her work, she understands value, how it is structured and scaled within an ecosystem. She leads with compassion in how she engages people and builds systems. She exercises restraint in disciplined investment and risk decisions. And she consistently adds value to portfolios, institutions, and outcomes. Beyond the boardroom, she's a wife, a mother of 4, and a woman of faith who serves as a pastor and a teacher. Above all, she's driven by a calling to build people, systems, and legacy that outlast her. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please let us give her the rich woman's clap as we welcome Dr. Mwongela as she gives the keynote address on ecosystems and launches PDI Africa 2.0. Welcome, Dr. Mas.
Thank you so much, Victor. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Wow. It's amazing when you hear the definition of your name. I'll certainly also borrow that and take that with me. Thank you very much for honoring us. Thank you to the founder of PDI, Coach Irene. Let's celebrate Coach Irene with a rich woman's clap. Well done. Well done for 16 years of tenacity, 16 years of showing up, 10,000 alumni. It surely takes the hand of God, but it also takes what Dr. Michael spoke about this morning, resilience. There were days you felt like giving up, isn't it? But yet we want your success. We celebrate you and congratulations. I like what my CEO, pious and friend and brother, has spoken about multiplication, because that is actually the heartbeat of what we're talking about today as we launch the ecosystem. But before I do that, we have a surprise guest. I'll invite him to come to the stage, and I'll see whether any of you will be able to identify his face. So if you're my surprise guest, please come. You know yourself, so that I don't state your name. Rich man's clap. Who can identify this face? Clearly, I was introduced as a teacher, and with teachers, you raise your hand. The ones who've participated in my class, I see, yes, Rodali. Can you just shout? Who do you think this is? Fash. Welcome, Fash. Fash has come. Fash is based in Rwanda, and Fash and I have known each other for the last 3 years. And I just want to give you an opportunity because you've been such an amazing facilitator in the PDI programs. And the first time we invited him was in 2024, I believe. And Coach Irene said, just share the number because people want more of Fash. So we celebrate the talent that you have, maybe a minute or two to just say hi to the PDI community.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mercy. And hello, everyone. Hello. Okay, that's the billionaire's way of responding. I don't expect you to shout, so it's okay. Hello, everyone. Yes, that kind of thing. Okay, it's such an honor to be here. This is my very first time physically to engage with the community, so it's such an honor to be here. And it's really great to see the faces of so many people that I've seen online. I would like to touch you, okay, after now, because I also like to touch people. I think there's some energy that come with that. But it's such an honor, and thank you for everything you've built. Thank you for what is coming, and I can't wait to hear what is coming as well. I feel like there's a lot that has been done, but there's a lot more that can be done. And what does that mean? It means that the only reason why you showed up today is because you see that there's a value here. And not just a value for yourself, just like Paul said, value for the future as well. I think most times we've always bid for the now, but what happens beyond now? What can we do for the future? And then beyond the fact that we have certain resources in us, we have skills, we have talents, many times it looks like we are not using the maximum of all the things that we have. But when you come to a community like this, it means that the skills you have and the talents you have, there's someone else that can help you to deploy it. And this is the multiplicative ability that comes with having people around you, having connections, and many other things. One of the things that I've seen working with networks and communities in Africa and beyond, that even philanthropists, they're beginning to stop giving money to just individuals. They now want to give money and resources to communities. One, because they believe accountability goes higher. If we cannot catch you, we can catch the entire community. And you cannot run. You cannot all run at the same time. Now, beyond accountability, they also know that there are certain things that an individual will not have, but many other people within the community will be able to have. And that's the kind of thing that is happening here. So if we have the same resources, I think life will not be so much fun. But because we have different skills and we also have different resources, it makes life more fun. And it means that there's a lot more possibilities that we can create as well. So for me, I think I'm just happy and excited, and it worked out that I was in town today and I was invited to be here. And so just excited to see the things that is going to happen, and also how we are going to leverage the ecosystem. How we are going to leverage the ecosystem, deploying in a multiplicative way the things that we have done, but even achieving the things that we've not seen yet. So thank you so much, Dr. Mercy, and looking forward to connecting with some of you before I leave. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Fash. Thank you for challenging us. Let's give him a rich man's clap. Thank you. Joy, what's my hard stop? Okay. Thank you. Coach Irene, thank you for giving me an opportunity to share and be part of the PDI programs and to talk about the ecosystem from many conversations we've had. And I started asking myself, this word ecosystem is a very big word, but yet it's a very simple word. And right now we are seated in an ecosystem because behold, in Genesis chapter 1, God starts creating the earth, right? And scripture says that the earth was without form. So first God creates the lights, the sun, the moon, then not in this particular format, Pastor Steve, so don't challenge. The grass, the herbs, the animals in the sea, the waters, not in any particular form. So I'm just giving you an example today. It's not a sermon. So God created an ecosystem. And right now we are seated under God's creation of an ecosystem. There are trees here. There is greenery. There is air. So these trees give us the air, the oxygen that we breathe. These flowers are so important. There's a movie that I watched much earlier, and it's called Bees. If you haven't watched that movie, anyone who's watched Bees? Bees. Joy, you haven't watched it. It's an animation. But it's slightly older. Anyone who's watched Bees? Okay. So the ones who've watched Bees, I'll summarize Bees. Bees are producing honey, and in this bee town, they decide to stop producing honey. So the bees go on a strike, and they say, we're not producing honey anymore because mankind is taking advantage of us. Jordan, do you want me to stay in one place? Okay. I will comply. So the bees go on a strike and say, effective this day, we're not going to go to work. We're not producing honey because these human beings just take our honey. And they eat our honey, and we do all the hard work from the queen bee to the defending. There's a whole colony of bees that go and defend the queen bee. And then there's the entire process of the creation of the honey, from the honeycombs to the collection of the honey. So the bees said we're not going to go to work. And what started happening is that the world started dying. All the vegetation that we see started vanishing, slowly by slowly, because those bees are so key in pollination. We don't see it. Yet, without bees, we don't have all this greenery that we see here. And that is what an ecosystem is. An ecosystem is far beyond the things that you see. An ecosystem is a structure, is how God created the universe for it to operate. That we need the lions. I'm sure you enjoyed patting the giraffes. Those giraffes are so key in our existence as mankind. The cows, the cattle, they are so key. The life under the sea, all those animals are very key in our existence as human beings. And whilst God gave us dominion, he gave us dominion to watch, and Pius spoke very passionately about multiplying. So the ecosystem is about multiplication. Multiplications of the things that we see and the things that we do not see. Now, let's switch gears to Africa. And I'm sure you also have it in Asia. For one of the things that our parents used to tell us, I did not experience it. Growing up in the village, they would share the pan that is used to cook chapati. Chapati is the bread, the fried bread. And that pan would move from one homestead to the other homestead. Then they will share other resources. So if there was a shortage of milk, the family that had milk within that village would share the milk. They will share tools of farming. They will decide, today we are going to, my Kikuyu name is Njoki, which also means someone who was added. So they will come to Njoki's farm and say, today is planting season for Njoki's farm. We will go to Njoki's farm as the women and assist her with the planting. Then tomorrow, these women will go to someone else's farm and assist. Okay? So that is how we were structured before colonization, before moving into your own house with a big gate, that before someone enters, they need to ring the bell, call you, and we've isolated ourselves. But that is how God expects us to continue to live, within an ecosystem. And an ecosystem is a village, say it differently. An ecosystem is a community. An ecosystem is what we see herein. And nobody can live in an island. So PDI 2.0, which, thank you, Irene, also for the honor of asking me to help with that particular launch, is about the ecosystem. It's about the network. It's about NABO coming in and assisting in wealth creation, wealth multiplication. It's about, I've seen some of the companies. There were some companies, you can, before you go here. Yes. That slide, the one that had the names of the companies. It's okay as it comes back on. An ecosystem is about the network. It's about the support system. It's about the opportunities within this room. Within the table where you're seated, there are $1 billion of opportunities right there. There are solutions. There are companies that can support your next level of growth, because God did not create us to live as an island. So the ecosystem is the room and the connection of network. It's the village to which we tap in the resources, we tap in the knowledge, we tap in the opportunities that we have. Thank you. Thank you. So I want to ask you a particular question right now. Since you joined PDI, how many people have been within the PDI community for the last 5 years? From 2021? Raise your hand because we are so far. 2021, so 5 years, 5 years and more from 2021. 3 years, for the last 3 years, you've participated in a, I see more hands back there. In the last 3 years, we've had more participants. Okay, awesome, awesome. And some of those participants are some companies that are enlisted here and that have been able to go and launch their companies. So the ecosystem is not about being alone. It's a life that coexists with other people. It's about a network that is trusted. It's about skills and credentials that go beyond your name. It's about your name being mentioned when you're not in that particular room because you're a member of an ecosystem. It's about opportunities passing through this community, this village, as opposed to going to other members because we are part of this ecosystem. An ecosystem, it's about the community where resources are shared. Resources, monetary, resources that are far beyond even the monetary, from opportunities to the giftings that God has given us. And this platform has nothing to do with one particular individual. Over the last 16 years, Coach Irene, you've done very well with Dr. Emma to launch the ecosystem and to launch that launchpad. Hundreds of thousands of lives have been transformed. Hundreds of lives have gone in to form their own businesses. People have gone in and become employers. People have become investors because of the particular ecosystem. If she had done this solo, she would have said, I know about investing. I will go and invest by myself. But she thought about the entire community and said, we need, far beyond that thing that we know as a community, we need a partner that we can bring in and move beyond that. So an ecosystem is about multiplication. An ecosystem is about visibility. An ecosystem, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an alumni, whether you're that Form 4 leaver that has just graduated, there could be an opportunity for you in this particular ecosystem. The ecosystem is about speakers. There's been a lot of speakers who've come in who are part of the alumni of PDI. There's been a lot of companies that have come to even pitch their own products, their own solutions. I think the lady who is facilitating this particular event, Diana, is also an alumni of PDI. So the ecosystem is far beyond that which you receive, the accreditation, the mindset. It's about the entire community. It's going back to Eden. It's going back to God's original form of us living together and being able to dominate and increase. I want to ask for those who were who've been part of PDI, if you think about the network that you have gained by being within PDI, has it been transformational? I can speak on behalf of Nabo Capital. On behalf of Nabo Capital, since we came into the PDI-TKC ecosystem, we have far beyond just the assets that we manage, we've seen lives transformed. We have seen people who had never invested before begin an investment journey because we're part of this ecosystem. We have seen, there's one lady, I will not mention her name, but her company is here. We've seen a company being created whilst being within the TKC LLP platform. We've seen lives being changed, and we've seen the potential of 1 billion Kenya shillings just amongst us. So this ecosystem is far beyond that which you can do. In Africa, we've got an African proverb that says, if you go alone, you'll still reach your destination, but if you go together, you'll be able to reach there farther, and we call it Ubuntu. So in this ecosystem, it's a call to action for us to come together as partners. And Coach Irene asked herself, far beyond the 16 years of toiling, what else can I offer the community of PDI? What else can I offer the 10,000 alumni? And it was an opportunity for them to scale. It's been an opportunity created for them to collaborate, to connect, an opportunity for them to operate and also get meaningful gain from the ecosystem, an opportunity for them to scale their business, scale their lives, scale their connections, scale their networks. Perhaps you're in this room and you're in the business, you are in the process of setting up your own company. A board of director member could be a PDI alumni. So scaling is far beyond the monetary scaling. It's the scaling of relationships. It's also an opportunity to get a meaningful yield. In investments, we judge investment managers by the return that they generate. So if you're a PDI alumni, far beyond the transformation that you've received of your mind, you have to ask yourself, what is my yield to this PDI community and how do I come in? The ecosystem is about sustainability. Sustainability in the solutions that we come up with. Fash has mentioned that there's a lot of money that is looking for pockets of opportunity to be deployed into Africa. And that money is looking for community-based initiatives. So sustainability through a community-based initiative. The ecosystem is about transformation. Far beyond transforming yourself, some of these companies here have significantly been transformed by virtue of being in the ecosystem. The ecosystem is also about expanding our mindsets, expanding our horizon, expanding our experiences. Beyond the classroom or the Zoom room experiences that we get with our facilitators, there are breakout rooms where some has said, I'm now teaching the people in my group how to unpack the framework of the 3 C's. So it's about transformation and also expansion. And the ecosystem is about multiplication, because God created us for us to multiply. So we are going to be multiplying in the ecosystem the solutions. I liked the examples that Pius gave. This 1 billion, which we will work very hard to multiply, because that's our job, will become the seed capital to many other businesses. That PDI-TKC LLP capital will become that lifestyle portfolio so that our children do not have to toil because their fathers have left an inheritance far beyond their children to their children's children. Multiplication within the ecosystem is also about networking. I cannot belabor networking. I'm such a product of networking. I'm a product of ecosystem. I also want to just highlight, we all operate in ecosystems. Dr. Emma, I'll use you as an example because you're in the medical field. If a patient comes to you and they say, I have a particular condition, can you treat them just by yourself? You might need labs. You might need radiology. You'll need a nurse. You'll need the farmer. So that's a medical ecosystem. In our world, in the investment world, we need companies to invest in. Those are part of our ecosystem, our investee companies. We need you to give us the money. You're part of our ecosystem as our investors. We need our regulator that gives us the guardrails of where to invest and where not to invest. So those are some of the ecosystems that already exist. In the education world, the guardrails of education is the Ministry of Education. They're in the ecosystem of education. They say this is the curriculum, you cannot deviate from this particular curriculum. In the ecosystem of education, you have publishing houses, you have the colleges that teach, the teachers will come into the schools, the lecturers. That is in the ecosystem of education. So within the PDI 2.0 ecosystem framework, this framework is about entrepreneurs, it's about Gen Zs. This framework is about people who are nearing retiring. It's about professionals. It's about every person that is represented here, creating an ecosystem where they belong, creating a community where they can come in and be part of a community that not only just educates and trains them and transforms their minds, but they also transform other minds. If PDI has thus far within the last 16 years been able to transform 10,000 lives, how much more will be the ripple effect of those 10,000 lives indirectly? Is much more. So within the ecosystem, we want to be able to train. We want to train trainers to come and help in transforming mindsets. Because, brothers and sisters, nobody is going to come and transform Africa. We have to be the transformation of Africa. We have to be the engineers of and the catalysts of the transformation of Africa. So this ecosystem is far beyond what PDI has been doing. PDI has said we've done well for the last 16 years in our 1.0. In our 2.0, we want to do this much faster with much more people. We want to be able to train more people to come in and become trainers. Far beyond that, we want our alumni to also network better. We want to create an alumni networking forum so that if you're an entrepreneur, you can come in and pitch your idea. And perhaps that idea might be something someone is already doing within that particular ecosystem. Within this ecosystem is the faculty. Far beyond the faculty that PDI has been able to bring is also global faculty, more experienced faculty, people who are giving us real life lessons. So the ecosystem is about empowering the community. I have an acronym for ecosystem. E for, it's about elevating. We want to elevate. And while elevating, we also want to collaborate and connect better. Those who participated in Quantum Leap, the third module, we talked about the operating system. The O is about operate. We want to operate our businesses, our lives differently. S is scale. Within this ecosystem, it's about scaling, not just PDI, the company, but scaling the entire platform, scaling the alumni. So there'll be a lot of accountability back and forth because you have been created for a purpose and we want you to go and, whether you're baking those cookies, bake with a purpose. Whether you, in NABO we invest with a purpose. When you're teaching, teach with a purpose so that you leave a legacy that is wealthy. Why is yield? We want to be productive because God created us to be productive. So we want to yield good fruit. S and a system, the second S on system, ecosystem, is we want to create sustainable businesses that outlive us. Pius has read for us Proverbs 13:22 that says, a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So we want to move from me, myself, and I, and create sustainable businesses, create sustainable portfolios, create sustainable relationships by being very intentional. Dr. Michael has shown us how intentional he has been in coming all the way from the Philippines. The T, are we? I could see some people still writing. We're together? Okay. The T is transformation. And I had the opportunity of asking Coach Irene and Dr. Emma why people come to PDI. They said the first thing people come is the transformation of their minds. So the ecosystem will be transformation of minds, transformation of lives, transformation of income, transformation of networks, transformation of systems, habits. It's about the E, expanding and empowering, and M is about multiplying. So this ecosystem it's not age agnostic. The diversity within the age is key, because when God created us, he created us in his image, and there are some who are young, there are some who are in their middle age, there are some who are in the phase of retirement, and there are some who are old. Everybody has something to give in the ecosystem. The professional profile is something that you'll find in the ecosystem. The talents and the giftings are something that we will find in the ecosystem. And to start off the ecosystem, this is one of the programs that PDI will be launching on the TOTs, Trainer of Trainers, is for this particular year, 2026. They will start with the Tier 1, which is Associate Facilitators. And what this entails is the inclusion of a program called Skill 360. Skill 360 will help the first cohort to be able to scale their lives, to scale their businesses, to scale their finances, to scale their networks and relationships, to scale their productivity in their workflow. Did I talk about networking? And to scale their spiritual life. So the first program within the ecosystem is Scale 360. And PDI is inviting the first pilot trainer of trainers. These trainers will be trained to go and become ambassadors of PDI, to go and do that which PDI has done by itself, but to do it within the platform and also with the support of PDI outside of the platform. And the first program is on Scale 360. It's going to be nothing that you've experienced before. A physical program out of town with international facilitators, out of Nairobi experience for 3 days. And when we were looking through some of the key challenges that have come up from the program, some of the questions that people ask, and Dr. Michael spoke to it, AI. AI is challenging our thinking. It's challenging the jobs of today are no longer relevant. So if you do not reshape the way you think, if you do not reshape and acquire a skill that will help you to increase your productivity far beyond. And I had the privilege of working with one of these tools, and it's not the things that we're used to. There are those people who are super duper productive in AI, and it is a training that they have they've participated in. So it's beyond asking ChatGPT, help me to write an email. No, 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 no. It's creating a mind within your AI tool that thinks like you, but also emulates the thoughts where you want to scale. So assuming you're in travel industry, you're building a brain within your organization that will help you to align to a global standard. So Scale 360, the AI and networking productivity module will be, I think the dates will be announced, but towards the end of May for 3 days out of town. And as part of that program will be going for, is within the Tier 1, that's correct, is within the Tier 1, and that's within the 250,000 range for a year, and there will be many other programs. Let's celebrate PDI for that amazing transformation within the ecosystem. You guys are good students. That's a rich man's clap. Well done, Coach Irene and Dr. Emma. And without further ado, we move to now the launch of PDI 2.0. I'll invite to the stage the founder herself, Coach Irene. Let's give her a rich woman's clap. We'll invite to the stage the co-founder of PDI 1.0, Dr. Emma Karari. This lady not only cures the heart physically, she's also a soul coach. The mind transformation, the thoughts, the emotions. We'll also invite to the stage to help launch PDI 2.0, Dr. Michael Young and Mrs. Young. PDI has moved global, eh? We'll also invite to the stage Coach Fash to help launch PDI 2.0. Again, global. We'll invite to the stage, I call him Dr. Pius Moshiri, to help launch PDI 2.0 as a key strategic partner representing NABO Capital. So herein we have the foundation, we have the global ecosystem represented, we have strategic partnership. What's missing? Remember I said I'm a teacher. The people who've participated in my classes. What's missing? Gen Z. We're missing the students. So I want one Gen Z representative, Samuel Kingori to represent the boy child, Jeremy for Gen Z, and Rodali to represent the alumni, Rodali Modoni to represent the alumni. Pastor Steve, come and join us in the launch of PDI 2.0. Oh, this is such a remarkable moment and season. Congratulations, Dr. Emma, Coach Irene. And thank you for the partnership through NABO Capital. Thank you for the impact. Thank you for saying yes. I liked the examples that Dr. Michael gave when it was hard. Can we get a rich woman's clap, rich people's clap? As we wait for the presentation, give Coach Irene a moment to
Yes, so our final speaker here, but a lovely coach, I'd like to introduce her. She's not just coach. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about who she is. This is Coach Irene Mureithi, a certified professional coach, leadership strategist, and personal development expert with over 16 years of experience developing people and organizations. She is the founder of the Personal Development Institute, as we've seen, and the force behind everything that we have seen today. So her mission is clear: to unlock human capital and to help people live and lead with clarity, intention, and impact. And fittingly, her name speaks to her purpose and her calling. Irene comes from the Greek Irene, meaning peace. Mureithi from Kikuyu, meaning shepherd, a bringer of peace and a guide of the people. So before stepping into full-time coaching, we know about her successful career in banking, and she's also a prolific author with 5 books centered on purpose, identity, resilience, and intentional living. Her work blends strategy with deep human insight, creating environments where transformation is not only inspired, but sustained, as you can see here. And through her leadership at PDI and TKC, she is building a global ecosystem, connecting people, capital, capabilities, and community. So, as our convener comes to officially launch PDI 2.0, ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation, would you please rise and join me in welcoming our global convener, Coach Irene Mureithi, as she gives us the Founders Marks and the official launch.
Thank you, everyone, and to God be the glory. To God be the glory. I thank God for my co-founder, Dr. Emma Karari, who is a medical doctor, a cardiologist, and when we began this work 16 years ago, there was no telling, and even now, we know that God will keep taking all of us as a community further and further. First of all, I must say that I thank God for giving us a beautiful weather. I haven't slept for 2 weeks. I kept telling the people at the Windsor team and Diana, the events organizer, let's move it indoors just in case it rains. So can we thank God for giving us good weather? And thank you everyone for coming and for being here. We appreciate you. I want to recognize someone who has come, and I will also invite him to come to the stage. The CFO, Mivida Home, Solomon Zomo, kindly join us. We were together at Oxford with Solomon and Irene. I don't know whether Irene is still around, to at least akaribishe Mike nyumbani. So, yeah. That was a surprise for Mike right there. And stay with us, Solomon. So thank you so much, Nabo Capital, Pius, I must say, and Dr. Mercy. Our lives have not been the same again as a community since we came to Nabo Capital. We are not where we want to be yet in the billions, but we will get there. And I think today we've been given such a blueprint of how to get there. Have you received it? How many are committing that we will do this? 83,000 shillings. I am sure even Jeremy, who is a Gen Z and the leader of the PDI Gen Z, and I know your parents are here, Mr. and Mrs. Ombati, we appreciate you. But in one of the coaching sessions, Jeremy told me, alioshwa, so you know kuoshwa, 150K that he had saved in an MMF, akaoshwa because somebody called him to invest it somewhere, and it turned out to be a pyramid scheme in the name of Forex. So as Pius challenges us about the 83,000, even our Gen Zs here can afford that 83,000. I see my son there, Dennis, come to the stage to represent family. I know mom was here, but she's left. I appreciate him as he comes. And I know he represents many other Gen Zs that belong to all of us as families. And what we are saying is, they can sell their iPhones, isn't it? And learn how to invest, isn't it? The people on the camera are young, Gen Zs, millennials. And as we call you to the ecosystem, it belongs to all of us. Those like Reverend Nyamu who are retiring, you have so much wealth to give us. The younger people, we have so much to learn from you. So it's an ecosystem, and only God can do this. And to God be the glory. So I want to give it back to Mercy. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's celebrate Irene. Well done. Well done. Done. We are all a byproduct of your obedience and saying yes. And we are grateful for that which you've done, the strides, and also coming to the next realization of PDI is beyond myself as an individual with Dr. Emma. There is so much more value that we can create for these 10,000 plus lives that have been impacted, from partners to global. Good to see you, Solomon, our former colleague. From a generational perspective, there is so much value within the ecosystem. And we say the ecosystem is about elevating, it's about connecting, it's about operating, it's about sustaining, it's about yielding, it's about transforming, it's about supporting us when we need that support, empowering and multiplying. Far beyond what PDI 2.1 has been able to do, we want to launch and thank God for 2.0. We're ready? Countdown from 10. Okay, help me. Let's count from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2.0 PDI! PDI! Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. We celebrate. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Well done, well done, well done.